and welcome to another riveting edition of Books and Banter, your Medina Library's video blog as to what the experts are reading. My name is Eric Lucius, as always coming to you from the Medina Library in the teen room today, a little different setting. And today's special guest, special expert, Connie Sureck, our teen librarian, our head teen librarian. She's going to talk about a book that blew her away to continue with our theme for the next couple episodes. So, that having said that, Connie.
Thank you, Eric. I'm actually going to talk about The Night Circus. I know this book has been, some of you may have heard about it, and it's been getting some really good popular reviews recently. This was one where I actually thought this was a teen book originally. One of the moms of the teens that come in, we talk about books and we have the same, similar interests, and she recommended this. So I picked it up and I started reading, and I thought, I don't know if this is a teen book. This is one of those books that can definitely be for teens and for adults. And it's one of those where I opened the first page and was just sucked in immediately. It is, I don't even want to really describe the plot because I feel like it doesn't do it justice, but there are those key words in here where it is so enchanting and enthralling that I just couldn't put it down, and I almost couldn't even really believe what I was reading, and it started to get to a point where I thought about it all the time, even when I was at work, and I couldn't wait to get back to read it. And it was just like you start to read it, and it's almost like you're wrapped up in a dream quality. It's spellbinding and mesmerizing. It is about magic and a circus, and there's a love story in here, and there's also like a great historical premise. It tells the story from various viewpoints, so it's not just completely one-sided. So you get this whole spectacle of stories from all these different viewpoints of these people, the characters in here. And I have to do it justice because when I saw the mom again and we talked about it, we got so worked up in it that we almost just started crying when we were describing, how wonderful this was in different parts in this book, and oh, wasn't this part wonderful? And I just feel like it grabs you from the beginning. The cover is utterly fantastic. It really does give the flavor of the book. The circus is all completely black and white. There's no color whatsoever. And you have two lovers that are entwined in this magical binding of this circus, and they're in kind of this magical tournament that they don't really know about. So there's a mystical flair, there's a mystery there, and I just have to read just the first little tiny section because it just kind of sets the tone for the book. The circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it, no paper notices on downtown posts and billboards, no mentions or advertisements in local newspapers. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. So that was the first part of this book that absolutely just sucked me right in, and I could not finish it. Or I could not put it down. I did finish it. Could not put it down. The Night Circus. And it's by Erin Morgenstern, and it is her first debut novel. So and that's it.
All right, very cool. Read-alikes. What kind of, if someone comes in and says, hey, I like this particular author, I like this particular title of a book, what kind of person do you want to get this book into their hands?
This is one of those where it's so different to me that I just, as you could probably tell, was having a hard time even describing it. I think this would be for someone who likes a little bit of mystery, element to it, who enjoys love stories. This would be for someone, and I've heard this, and I kind of agree. Harry Potter, if you're an adult and you enjoy Harry Potter, this kind of is with Harry Potter a little bit. If you enjoy the whole realistic love aspect, there's the Sandcastle Girls, which I think is a new book out by Chris Bojalian, I can never say his name right, and that's kind of like one of those expanding love stories. Another one that's been popular is Discovery of Witches. That you could kind of, if you like that whole magic element, that would work. The other series that's really big right now is The Magicians by Lev Grossman, and that is he's got The Magicians and The Magician King, I think, and that's really popular. That would also work. Another one that's older, if you really like the Victorian magic, is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and that's by Susan Clark, and that would definitely be much more of the magic part of it. There's a couple of teen books that would work. The big one out that's now is Daughter of Smoke and Bones. That's by Laini Taylor. I have not read that one, so I'm not sure. But then there's the Gemma Doyle trilogy of The Great and Terrible Beauty, and that would also work. Victorian magic, you kind of get that flair. So.
Okay, very cool. As you mentioned in the introduction, you are the teen librarian. A lot of this crossover fiction, like the Twilight series and Hunger Games, has become huge for adults. Anything that you've read or on the horizon that you know about that could have that same effect of crossing really over from the young adult genre to mainstream adult?
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff right now, and you can go from a variety of just the realistic fiction to the paranormal stuff like the Twilight to the dystopian for Hunger Games. There's the Cassandra Clare, she does the Mortal Instruments, and there's going to be a movie coming out soon from that series. She's got another one, The Infernal Devices. Divergent by Veronica Roth is another big one. It's very similar to Hunger Games, so if you enjoyed Hunger Games, you'll really enjoy Divergent. It's very dystopian. And there's a second one out in that series called Insurgent. One of my all-time favorite teen authors that I think adults can read is the Maggie Stiefvater. She does the Scorpio races, and she did the Wolves of Mercy Falls series. Another movie that's coming out soon is Beautiful Creatures, and that's the Castor Chronicles by Kemi Garcia and Margaret Stoll. So that's another good paranormal magic kind of feel to it. You have classics like The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, that's realistic. Winter Girls is one of my all-time favorite teen books, and that's a very haunting portrayal of anorexia in teens, and that's by Laurie Halse Anderson. There's a ton. That's just to name a few. There's just a ton, and you can find stuff on the internet. You can definitely come in here and ask us for any suggestions, because it's just, this whole room is just full of books that parents and adults love as well. So.
Very cool, very cool. Last question, a wine pairing for Night Circus.
I did forget that. I think that would probably be probably a Syrah. You want something dry, definitely red, has to be red. Dry, fruity tones, maybe a little touch of chocolate. So any kind of Syrah would be good, I think.
Excellent, excellent. Just drop a little wine knowledge. Syrah, Shiraz, if you don't know. Same grape. Shiraz is like the Australian version, usually bigger, more robust, more alcohol. Syrah is much more the silky smooth French. Côte de Rhône, you can pick up a nice bottle, about $9.99. F. Chipotle makes a very nice entry-level Côte de Rhône, wonderful wine. Okay, well, I think that's it. A wonderful episode. Thank you, Connie, for joining us, being our first expert, breaking new ground here on Books and Banter. As always, we'll have the links to the books, some of the titles and authors that Connie talked about. I'll have my link to my email. Send me a message. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what you want to hear on Books and Banter. My pen's gone. That's it. We will see you around the library.